the last bit of Kobe news, man, before we move on here, is actually there's actually talk in the NBA now about changing the NBA logo. So if you guys ever heard of the NBA, you associate it with that logo right there. And yeah, man, that logo, man, it's iconic, man. It's like it's just that's been the image of the NBA for, since I was born, man. It's just, that's the logo. It's always been there. And fun fact for those of you guys who don't know, the silhouette in that logo is actually Jerry West. And Jerry West, this guy's a total badass, man. Champion. He played with the Lakers for a bunch of years, and he's an executive now, and he's been just he's been so instrumental in so many championship teams, along the way, over the last, several decades, actually. This guy's been around for a minute, and that's what we call him, Jerry the Logo West, and he was a bad man on that court, man. But so he's the logo, right? And Kyrie Irving, who plays for the Brooklyn Nets, just recently, he just made some news because he had a presser the other day, and he's been very vocal about his position that he believes that the NBA should update the logo. So he wants to change this logo to this logo, which would be in honor of Kobe Bryant. Now, obviously, I don't know if it would be like a full image like that of Kobe, or if it would just be a blackened out silhouette, like or is it whitened out or blackened out? However, they're gonna do that. Like I'm sure they would have to go through a few design images in order to get the the best one to represent the league. But so in Kyrie Irving's argument, he says that his quote was, "Black kings built the league." Meaning that, this is obviously a predominantly African-American league. And, it was black people who really took this sport and took it to the level where it is now. Well, black people and Larry Bird and people like Jerry West, Like, you can't forget about these guys all throughout the NBA history also, I would just point that out, And, cause, I think, a guy like Larry Bird was just as instrumental in the development of the NBA as anyone was. And then, obviously Michael Jordan came and made it a whole international global thing in the 90s and just took it to an extreme, new level. Michael Jordan did. He put the league on his back. But, a lot of people built up the league. But look, Kyrie's obviously got a point. It's been mostly black people who have built up the NBA. So, he says, the logo should be a representation of that, and what better way to do that than to make it also at the same time and honorance to Kobe Bryant, who obviously, was a big staple in the league, in the history of the game itself. And, obviously has a big part in the history of the NBA, 5 championships, 20 years with the Lakers, everything that he's done, all the, all the records and accomplishments and accolades that he was able to achieve, and, look, I think, that's the other question, man. How do I feel about the NBA and, should they change the logo? Well, here's the arguments to it. Let's look at the arguments. The first argument is to, leave the logo alone. Just leave it what it is. This is what we know. This is what's been the NBA's trademark for pretty much ever, So, that's the first argument, leave the logo the way it is. Second argument, Kyrie's argument. Let's change the logo to Kobe Bryant. And look, if they decide to change it to Kobe Bryant, obviously I would be all for it. I wouldn't be against it. I'd be all for it, man. I think that'd be great. I agree with Kyrie, what a better way to honor Kobe Bryant and everything that he did for the game than to, update the logo to him. And Jerry West, by the way, has came out in support of the change. He says it doesn't matter to him if they change it. He never asked to be the logo. So, it was just kind of bestowed on him. And he says, hey, man, if they want to update it to, a guy like Kobe Bryant, who him and Jerry West had a very close relationship with each other. Jerry West was part of those championship teams, with Kobe and Shaq. So, yeah, man, if they update it to Kobe, I'd be for it. I wouldn't be against it. But there is a third argument to this, and there's a lot of talk lately about, they're saying that if they're going to change the logo, they should change it to Michael Jordan. And the argument being that, look, Michael Jordan, hands down, is the greatest of all time. He's the GOAT when we're talking about basketball and NBA. Michael Jordan all day, every day. No one's going to surpass what he did, obviously, And, just like I said, everything that he was able to do, he took the game to that next level. It was off of the era of Michael Jordan, or the aura of Michael Jordan, I should say. I guess both would work, but you know what I mean? So obviously everyone knows the iconic Jumpman logo, and the talk is we should change it to Michael Jordan to represent, like how Kyrie said, it should be a representation of the league and the people who, mostly built it up, and that honor should go to the greatest of all time, and that is Michael Jordan. So how do I feel about this? And what if they change it to Michael Jordan? Also, I wouldn't be mad at it, man. I wouldn't be against it if that's what they decide to do. Obviously, I love the Jumpman logo, man. I think everybody does. You know what I mean? Everybody loves Jordans. If you don't love fucking Jordans, man, then I don't know what to tell you. There's probably something wrong with you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you could not look at a brand new pair of fresh Jordans and just not just sit and stare at it for a second. You know what I mean? And just look at it and just look at those shoes and how nice they look. I mean, I like some, nice Jordans, man. Jordan, he's just, the staple of, basketball sneakers, probably all sneakers, actually. I mean, that guy, fuck, man, how much is he sold in sneakers at this point, man? That guy is the sneaker fucking king. Michael Jordan is, man. And I'll debate anybody on that point. Like, what's more iconic than the Jordan? You know what I mean? So, I mean, look, if they change it to Michael Jordan, I wouldn't be mad at it. I would be more in favor of them changing it to the Kobe silhouette, because, it'd be, everyone already knows the Jordan logo. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to give something to Kobe that way. You know what I mean? Let him be the logo of the NBA. So generations from now, when, the next batch of kids who come up on, new era NBA years from now, and they're like, the NBA logo, who's that? Was that an actual player? Yeah, that was this guy named Kobe Bryant. Let me tell you about a guy named Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? Kind of stuff like that. So look, the bottom line is, I think the NBA can pretty much get away with whatever they decide to do here. You know what I mean? If they decide to leave the logo alone and just leave it as is, I think they can get away with that I don't think that would be controversial. You know what I mean? I think it's just, hey, that's our logo. That's how we were built. That's what we're going to stick with. I wouldn't be mad at that. They changed it to Kobe, can't be mad at it. They changed it to MJ, can't be mad at it. So whatever they decide to do, man, my opinion is I am all for it. Whatever the NBA wants to do. If I had a preference, I would prefer that they update the logo and change it to Kobe Bryant. But hey, man, we'll wait to see what happens. We'll see what Commissioner Silver decides to do, and let us know what you guys think. What do you guys think the NBA should do for their logo? Should they keep it the same? Should they change it to Kobe, or should they change it to MJ? Be sure to you can comment on this video on the YouTube. You can email us here at the email, which is at battlebornpodcast@gmail.com. Or you guys can, again, get us on the socials. Find us there. Send me a message. Let me know. We'll run a poll and we'll see, we'll talk about it on the next show, what you guys, think is best, for the NBA going forward. And